Hello! How the hell are you folks? Yeah, just been a bit lazy tonight. I thought I'd just do a quick live waffle. I never had a chance to actually record one, so it's not going to be too long. I say it's going to be about an hour, if that. We'll see how we get on. So anyway, who have we got in tonight? I'm not sure if there's actually anyone watching. We've got Alex at least. How the hell are you, mate? I hope you're doing fine. I'm all right. I had a quite a busy week. I was where was I? I was down in a place called Sutton Coldfield, which is bloody miles away. I was down there Wednesday, Thursday. Got back last night. I left about 2:30 to come back up the road, and I didn't get home until about 8:45. The traffic was absolutely horrendous. So I was just going to. How you doing, Craig? I saw you were. I see Lacozer's actually got a live stream. It's the first one for a long time actually. He's playing a bit of Elite fucking Dangerous. So yeah, that's the first one he's done for a long, long time. Yes, I didn't get back till about I says it was about 9 o'clock last night. I got changed and quick shower into bed, bloody knackered. So yeah, I says I'm doing fine. What was I going to say? Arcade Club. I was listening to a podcast. Actually, when I was driving down on Wednesday, and there were I can't even remember the name of the podcast. It's like a retro gaming podcast anyway, and they had not long returned from what do you call it, Arcade Club, and I was just thinking we need to get a date in the diary, because I think that the sooner we get a date, it's something to look forward to because I'm I'm getting, well, not just me. We're all getting kind of coming towards Christmas and New Year, and I'm really not a fan of this time of year. I just get quite down in the dumps, get really kind of pissed off and fed up. So I think it's important that you have kind of things on the side of New Year to look forward to. So I'm going to suggest a date in March. I will put it in Discord. So if you want to go along to Arcade Club and you want to join us for a couple of days gaming and what have you, then join Discord. I'm sure Dell will put the link at some point. So yeah, I've not really got an awful lot to talk about. I did kind of excel myself last week with the waffle. I thought that was quite a good one. So what I'm going to do is I think I've got a couple of questions actually. Let me just find it from last week. Where are we? Where are we? It's kind of weird when you go into your own channel. It just kind of throws up all these completely random videos of all different kind of weird dates. Let's have a quick look. Right, there we go. What's that you're saying, Dale? What do you think of the Half-Life? Ooh, right. Now, as you probably know, I don't really keep up to date with kind of current gaming as such. It only tends to be when people like Dell or guys in the channel mention things. What do you think of the Half-Life 2 20th Century Anniversary Remaster? Oh, wait a minute, is that the one that came out? Is that the one that came out in Steam about maybe 3, 4 months ago? Because if it is, then let me have a quick look at my Steam catalog because I did actually buy it. Or is this one that's just kind of come out recently, though? Let me have a quick look because I've definitely seen I've definitely seen a Half-Life 2 update. If that's the one that you're talking about, right? Let me just when oh, it's not out yet. So what have I got? Let me have a quick look. Library. Uh, I've definitely got a Half-Life something or another. Half-Life 2. No, I think you know what I'm thinking of. I think they did put out some updates to Half-Life 2. Is this a complete overhaul, is it? I'll let you have a quick look. Evening, Keith. How you doing, buddy? I was actually thinking about you yesterday. I was driving past Liverpool on the M6, and I was just thinking, I wonder who Keith is. Right, anyway, I'm going to have a quick squint, see if there's any questions from last week. Yeah, I was having a moan. In fact, it was a question. It wasn't a moan as such. It was a question that I think wee Bob asked me. He was asking what would you call it? What game had the worst? Oh no, it wasn't. It was Dale that asked that actually. What game can you remember that had the worst ever keyboard layout? And I mentioned a couple of games on the Spectrum. I can't remember what they were, but they used the number keys. So up was like the zero, and then one, which was to the right of that, was like down. It made no sense at all. But a few people have said here, Alan GTB Films is saying Spectrum games using 6, 7, 8, and 9 and 0 for the directions and fire does sound crazy. They did it because the Sinclair joystick, which was shite, and everyone but a Kempson instead mimicked those keys. Ah, so right, so if you had the Sinclair joystick, it would actually move up and down. Um, got you. So if you coded the game to use 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0, you didn't need any additional coding for a Sinclair joystick. Yeah, that's fair enough. If you're talking about a joystick, but the fact was, if you didn't have that joystick, you would have this completely unusable layout, which is pish. So a lot of early games use those keys, even though it made no real sense if you didn't have a Sinclair joystick. Yeah, the Spectrum Plus 2 bundle packs actually came with a Sinclair joystick included. They were cheap and nasty though. Thank you, Alan. And I was having a whinge last week about I've had a plethora of USB issues, which, touch wood, have largely been fixed. Dale did give me a couple of top tips about uninstalling, going into Device Manager and uninstalling the driver and then restarting. So that's kind of fixed it. But what he's saying here is, yeah, it mostly happens by plugging a USB device in, and an error occurs about the device not responding or unrecognized. Every time from then, it won't work even after a reboot. Sometimes you can forget the message came or you miss it. To fix it, you go to Device Manager, look for USB or USB ports, and expand the selection. Then hit the what was it? Then select all of them and uninstall Reboot. Windows will rediscover your USB ports on the next boot and will clear the error message. It's an old fix, but works, and I can testify to it working, which is thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that, Dale. That was grand. Right, wee Bob, all the best, Al. No idea about things you can get in Japan. Well, yeah, I was asking if any of you crazy kids can come up with something that my daughter could buy me in Japan. The thing is, the world has become a far smaller place now that we've got, AliExpress and, God, dare I say, Temu and Wish. You can buy anything anywhere. You can buy it online now. Evening, Steve. How are you, buddy? Yeah, wee Bob Art is asking, all the best, Al. No idea about things you can get in Japan. We have a local shop here that does retro gaming stuff, and their prices are crazy. It's like an industrial estate type shop. Great to visit, but too pricey. I am interested in the coin ops thing, but I thought the website had been taken down. No, it's not. It's still there. Question for next time. I know you're not political, but if you could put Donald Trump into a classic game from the C64, what character would he play? Or villain? Oh, bloody hell. What character would Donald Trump play? What possible game could he play? Oh, man. Hmm, that's an interesting one. Did you ask Dell the same question by any chance? Oh, without stating the obvious, something like obviously split personalities, but I'm thinking maybe like a Bowser character, something like that. Yeah, I think if you've ever played Super Mario 64 or Mario 64 as it's called, I think the very, very first level you get to the top, and is it Bowser? I think it is, and you've got to grab him by You've got to run up behind them, and then you swing them round and round, and then you throw them off. So I'm thinking something like that. Possibly. Yeah, thanks, Bob. Gan's teeth, a ban on selling fireworks to the general public is very much needed. I apologised about a story I told last week about a man that sadly died in Edinburgh. Yeah, he got hit with a bus and it was horrible. What the hell was I talking about? I also heard another sad tale. I mean, I'm not a fan of fireworks. I don't actually like loud noises. Um, yeah, I don't like see bangs, like loud bangs. Or I'll tell you one thing, see if somebody is in a room and they've got a balloon and they're going to try to burst it. I'm genuinely on edge waiting for this thing to burst. I've just got a real fear of kind of bangs. So I'm not a big fan of fireworks. But owning two dogs, they're absolutely terrified. And I read online the other day there, apparently there was a red panda. Now, a red panda doesn't look like a normal panda. It's like a wee kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, like not a mongoose, a raccoon. It looks more like a raccoon. Um, and sadly, there was a young red panda in Edinburgh Zoo, and its mum had actually passed away, I think, 2 weeks ago. But they said that the wee baby one was coming on leaps and bounds. It was getting like hand fed, but then apparently it was bonfire night that night, and then in the morning they found the thing was outside its kind of bed, and it had died. It had choked, and the vet did a kind of autopsy and actually said that he reckons that the poor thing had actually got a fright. It was traumatized with fireworks. So yeah, I don't know. It annoys me. You see, I don't know what it is with things like that. If you're ever like coming up to a junction in the motorway, or you come up to traffic lights, there's always these fucking signs pinned to like lampposts, and it'll say transfer VHS tape to like what do you call it, to DVD, and also you can buy fireworks. So people still sell fireworks, and more weirdly, people still fucking let them off. They're letting them off at like 11:30 at night. Just makes absolutely no sense to me at all. By all means, keep fireworks, but do we really need the noise? You can actually get silent fireworks. Um, I would say 99% of people, the whole appeal of fireworks is the actual visual. It's not the bloody noise. But anyway, yeah, I'll get off my soapbox. Yeah, talking of which, that was a total scam charging an entry fee for a games market. Yeah, I was at a video games thing when was the last year? Last week. And yeah, they charged us to get in to fucking buy stuff. I know they have to rent the location, but the sellers should be paying for that. If necessary, they can add a bit of overheads to the game prices, but charging people just to have a look around is a disgrace. Completely agree. Steve saying, loved your nice and nasty. Hope that series runs and runs. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've got to say, Dale did an absolutely stonking job of the host. So if I ever kick the bucket and you need a successor, then I'm sure Dale would take the mantle over. I'm just saying that, Dale. If I'm not here, you're more than welcome to take over the running of the nice and nasty. I enjoyed it. It was good fun. As is, Dell did a great job, and yeah, it's like anything, Steve. It's about getting people to do it. I've got a few kind of feelers that I've put out, so to speak. Try and get some people in. It's just one of these things. It'd be great to get one every week, but I can't always guarantee that. You've obviously got to wait in the availability of people. Tower Bridge 04. Hi, Alan. I agree with you about fireworks. We purchased them back in the 80s and 90s, but never set them alight before the 5th of November. See, that was the thing. That's exactly the thing. Did my mum and dad ever buy fireworks? I can probably count on one hand the number of times that they bought them. But back then, you maybe got like four. You got a couple of sparklers, and you maybe got four fireworks. So your firework display was over in like 30 seconds. Um, but I don't recall fireworks going off out with the 5th of November. But I was actually talking, who was I talking to? Yeah, I was talking to my girlfriend actually earlier on today, and we were just talking about kind of life in general and how, in fact, it was a podcast I was listening to, and it was somebody mentioned this, and it just got me thinking how we live in a society where people get everything instantly. You know, when you think back, I'm talking about music, films, they're instant. Video games, you can download them, you get them instantly. Even like cars, people like just you don't get people just kind of putting up with like second hand cars. You, you see kids, like early teens or like maybe 18, 19, they're driving about in cars that are like I couldn't afford. And you just think, where the hell do they get the money from this? I've no idea. Do people just like have bank loans? Do they take credit cards? Do they max them out? I don't know. But no, a huge part of the appreciation and excitement as a kid growing up in the 70s and 80s, it was the anticipation and the excitement for getting things, whether it was, Christmas. I mean, most people, myself included, other than the odd occasion that my granny would give me like a pound, she would do that thing, put that in your pocket, son, and don't tell your mum and dad. I was always taught to say no, thank you, and sometimes they'd go, all right then, but 9 times out of 10 they'd say no, just keep it. They'd wink to you and they would kind of close your hand, don't tell your mum and dad. Um, but apart from that, the only time I really got toys was Christmases and birthdays. That was it. Easter. You go. I was lucky. I think I used to get two Easter eggs. You never got anything else out with that kind of period. And then when it came to like buying games, I mean, I was a kind of adult when I had my computer, so it didn't really apply to me. But even then, it did because I mean, my first job, I earned about £12 a week. I would have enough money to buy, some sweets, copy his app, and the latest game. I'd have to dig into his app, have a look, see what game I wanted, and then I would either go to John Menzies or go to Ray's computer shop. And sometimes he would say, "Oh, I don't." I mean, I always remember Wave the Exploding Fist. I read the review and I just thought, "Oh, fucking hell, that looks the most amazing game ever." I couldn't wait to buy it. And I remember going up to Ray's shop uh, on the Saturday, and he never had it. I don't know where he got his games. I would love, what, I would love to interview Ray. That's never going to happen because I heard through social media that he'd actually passed away a couple of years ago. But I would love to have, out of anybody, I would love to have had Ray on my channel just to talk to him about how he got into computers. He had a computer shop that sold Ataris before computers were even a thing. But yeah, that's obviously not going to happen now. But anyway, getting back to that, I went up to the computer shop on the Saturday, and I was wanting Way of the Exploding Fist. He never had it, and he said he would get it ordered, and it was going to be Wednesday, I think it was, before this game came in. And I remember my mate, I think, I'm sure my mate Grant went into the shop on the Wednesday to get it. This was during like the summer holidays, 1985, I think it was. And Grant went in because he was coming down to my house, and Grant would like pass by Ray's shop, and he went in, and Grant turned up at my house. I'm like, "Oh, have you got the game? Have you got the game?" And he went, "No, he's not got it in yet," and I had to wait till the following day. And then when we did get it, it was like, wow, best game ever. It was just fantastic. But now everything is just instant. You know, people want a game, they just get it instantly. Music, you don't have to wait, you don't have to save up. And I don't know, I think society is a lesser place for it. Um, I know I'm an old fart. I'm not saying that the old days were the best, but we were certainly more grateful. for having things. We got a lot less, but when we did get things, we appreciated it. I mean, the person, in fact, I'll tell you exactly who it was. It was Jason Bradbury, Gadget Show. He was on the Retro Asylum podcast, and he was talking about, he was trying to explain to his kids. Um, he was trying to explain to his kids that when a film was coming out, it would get released in America, and then you would usually have to wait a couple of months for it to get released in the UK. And then you would then have, I don't know, Dale probably be able to answer this one. You may then have like a year or more before it was released on a videotape. Um, and even before videotape, you had to. I mean, the film that I really remember was seeing Jaws. I didn't see Jaws in the cinema. Jaws was out in the cinema, but I think I was underage at that point. I didn't get to see it. But I had a fascination with sharks that's never really left me. And I remember when it did eventually get shown in TV, it was so exciting. It was a really, really big thing when films, especially Christmas time. Yeah, we will be getting in that time, folks. Probably in about 4 weeks' time, I will hopefully be doing another Christmas special with my good old friend, Mr. Dave Wade, Lone Boys Post 1975. He doesn't actually know that yet, but I'm sure we will be doing that. What was I going to say? Yeah, it was just, it was brilliant. You know, you had the TV times, you had the radio times, you'd circle what films. It's like, oh, what film is BBC One putting on at Christmas? You know, the big film and ITV, they would have their, I remember Star Wars coming on the TV. But now it's not just films; it's everything. People, we live in this society now where we're so impatient that we want everything right away. You can just if you want a song, you can get it played instantly. We had to wait and get money, we had to buy albums, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, where are we talking about? Uh, yeah, it was Tower Bridge 04. Sorry, I'm just having a quick look at the comments. I did see Dale has put up, yeah, Crazy Kong 64. I think I've been, I think I've been pretty fair with Dale, to be honest with you. I mean, I've picked some great games. Dino Eggs, Castle Wolfenstein. Can't remember the other game that I picked. I just thought I need to kind of I need to torture the guy a wee bit. It's not fair that he's getting all these great games to play. And apart from that, I was genuinely interested to see what he made of Crazy Kong. I just remember trying to play it back in the day, and it was impossible. It was utterly, utterly unplayable. I've not watched the video yet. I am going to watch it tonight once I finish this thing. But yeah, I did manage. I'm sure I've played it a few times in streams and managed to get to the second level. I may actually have to revisit it because it was a game that I think it featured. It was my second ever video that I made, so I might have to do a follow-up 10-minute mashup. But before that, I do need to go and watch Dell's video. But I hope you're not too scarred, Dell. Right, anyway, yeah, Tower Bridge 04. We purchased fireworks back in the 80s and 90s, but never set them alight before the 5th of November. Also, as a kid, I would dress up Guy Fawkes, sit along the high road with a friend, and ask for a penny for the guy. What the hell was that all about again? They were fun times, but you don't see that now. We weren't saints back then, like some might suggest, but it does feel like there's overall less discipline and respect now. Yeah, totally. It's nice that you mentioned animals and insects. Many people don't consider or care sufficiently about them when it comes to pyrotechnics. Should tradition dictate ethics and morals? That's the thing. When people say, you see people online saying, oh, it's tradition, or we've always done that. Uh, we used to burn witches. Sorry, we used to burn people that were suspected of being witches. Slavery. Yeah, that was a tradition. Do we do it now? Of course we don't, because it was fucking abhorrent. It was atrocious. So we don't have to. In fact, I read, what was it? What the hell was it again? Oh, I can't remember. Somebody was talking about uh, like tradition. They likened tradition as like a curse from the dead. You know, we do things because our mum always did it. I don't know. Why do you do such and such a thing? Oh, because my mum and my granny always did it. And it is, it's like they're no longer here, but we still do some things because it's what we've always done. It doesn't make it right. Yeah, interesting point. But anyway, thank you very much, Tower Bridge. It's nice to see somebody new. Colin Jones Ponder, charging people to get in when there are only sales is taking the piss. I'm right there with you in fireworks. Make them license only. USB is bad enough. Add Windows in. There's your problem. I've almost all the classic hardware I want. I might be tempted by others, but I'd have to know I'm going to use it or there's no point. I'm a collector. So I'm not a collector, I'm a user. Exactly same as myself, Colin. Take a look at your Spectrum keyboard. The number keys are actually labelled with cursor keys. Yep, we've already kind of mentioned that. The PA-28 is a single engine aircraft. Yeah, Colin was asking me, what's the fastest I've ever been? And I think I mentioned it was about 110 miles an hour in my car about 2 years ago. Uh, Holy fucking shit, that story about the tragic accident made my stomach turn. The last thing I'd want to do is get the camera out. Yeah, fucking awful. Colin's got a question for me. Oh, wait a wee minute. Hang on a second. I've completely. I'm going to. I've completely forgot. Tower Bridge actually asked me some questions, so I'm going to go. I'm going to finish Colin's. What Colin's asking, and then I'm going to. I'm going to go back and answer the questions from Tower Bridge. Yeah, I was asking about what can my daughter buy me when she's in Japan, and he's saying personally nothing specific, but I'd be like a kid in a candy store if I went in myself. Yeah, I've seen pictures and videos of some of these like gaming stores, and it's just absolutely insane. It's far too much. I think I would end up, my head would explode. There's just too much stuff. My question for the next waffle: what is your opinion on secure messaging platforms? There's another I recently discovered called Session, which needs no phone number, no email address, and is designed to hide as much metadata as possible. Do you think these have a place in general society, and especially for people at risk? And yes, I did ask Daleboy the same question. Um, Dale is obviously going to. He's obviously going to be able to answer that from a position of knowledge. Um, Regards, what do I think of them? I mean, I do use. I'll need to stop disappearing out of shot. For some reason, why is this video? Why is this video? It's not full screen. Just give me one little second. Why is that? Configure video. Have I got it set to? All right, I probably can't. Probably can't change it. In fact, you know what? I'm not. Oh, hang on a second. No. Oh, hang on. Can we? Can we change it? Resolution. There we go. That's full screen. That's better. Um. Yeah. I mean, I do use WhatsApp. It's useful. That's probably my main kind of platform of communicating these days. Certainly like me and my girlfriend, but that's how we kind of talk on Messenger, not on Messenger, on WhatsApp. I don't use MSN Messenger quite as much. Why is that moving on my head? Um, yeah, I'm not really qualified to talk about how secure it is. I mean, I'm one of these people. Yeah, yeah. I remember. In fact, I dated a girl just once actually, before my current girlfriend, and she actually worked for Google, and I was asking her about the smart speaker. Hey Graham, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're well, mate. I'll need to get you back in the channel, Graham. It's been a long time, mate. We need to come on for a chat. Um, yeah, what was I talking about? And she said, I was asking her about, yeah, this girl that worked for Google. I was asking her about what she thought of the smart speaker with the girl's name, if you know what I mean. and she said she would not use them. She says because they're listening to everything, absolutely everything. They're processing data. They're listening to what you're talking about. I mean, we've all done it. We've all been talking about, I don't know, fridge freezers or something. And then the next thing you know, on Facebook, you're getting all these bloody fridge freezer adverts popping up. So yeah, she worked for Google and she said she would not get it. But I'm one of these, I'm a bit kind of gun ho. I just kind of leap straight in. I mean, I'm the type of arsehole that buys like a, I don't know, a PSP or a PS Vita, and then within a couple of weeks, I'm trying to put custom firmware on it, and it's saying here, warning, this may brick your device. Do you want to continue? And I'm like, hell yes. So I'm like I said, I'm too stupid. Perhaps if I was a bit cleverer, I may not favor all these things. I mean, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Messenger and all that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, I mean, Steve there, yeah, I know. Steve's one of them. There's nothing wrong with that. There's different types of people. Some people are just dead against that kind of thing. They want to safeguard their privacy. I'm a bit like whatever. I think maybe I was going to say if you go to Google, in fact, let me just have a quick look just now. If I go to Google and type in Meme Meister, it doesn't actually tell you. It doesn't tell you how many. Doesn't tell you how many things there are. Oh, it does. Well, there we go. It's got at least 10 pages. Let's go to page 10. Uh, yeah, 14. Uh, I'm all over the internet. I am all over the internet. MainMeister is out there. When you're on a platform like this, I talk about stuff. I mean, I used to be a bit of a dick about things. I used to talk about personal things, and then I realised, wait a minute, I need to be careful what I'm doing here. So I do try and kind of filter about what I talk about. But like I says, if I was to decide one day that I want to come off the internet, I want to completely remove my kind of online footprint, it would be impossible, absolutely impossible, because as Dell or any of the other guys that make their own channel, if you Google your name, you'll see, I mean, like my podcasts, they're all over. There's different people. I've seen my videos on Chinese websites and all that kind of stuff, Russian websites. People are plagiarizing your content all the time. So for me, it would be it would be impossible. I mean, Dell's has said that deleting your footprint is hard these days. I think it really would be. So yeah, I'm a bit kind of gun ho. I tend to kind of like whatever. I think to myself, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, I have been hacked. Um, that was me being a dick, though I stupidly gave away personal details in a text message. So yeah, I tend not to. What was the question again? I can't bloody remember. What's your opinion on secure messaging platforms? Yeah, I think they're a good thing, Colin. I mean, the great thing about if you're abroad, if you're ever on holiday somewhere and you don't want to use a phone or using your phone to phone, you can just do it online. So I do like these things. The only one I'm on, or the only two I'm on, is Messenger and WhatsApp. uh, yep, and Steve's gaming. He was obviously. I did apologise to him about talking about the talking about that accident in Edinburgh. What the hell is wrong with people? Why would you take images or a video of a dead person? How despicable and totally disrespectful. Yeah, you and me both, Steve. Right, let's get back to Tower Bridge 04. He did ask me a couple of questions here. What was your number one? What was your favourite and least favourite firework back in the day? Like it says, my dad would maybe, if it were good, he would maybe buy a box of fireworks, and the box probably had a couple of fireworks, maybe six or something. My favourite firework, I did quite like the rockets. They were quite exciting. Um, my least favourite. I don't even know what they're called, but yeah, the fireworks that just made that exploded, that made the really loud noise. Not a fan of them. Like I said, I'm a big scaredy cat. It's almost like I've got PTSD, and I've never served in armed forces or anything like that at all. Uh, Number two, which coin op did you spend the most money on? Again, I kind of feel like I'm not really in a position to answer that because I didn't have any like local arcades. I mean, me and my mates used to go to, there was an arcade in Edinburgh, but we'd only go maybe once every couple of months. So I can't actually remember putting a lot of money in a machine. Yeah, and I mean like the sports centre, it had Space Invaders, what have you. I mean, I suppose, yeah, I couldn't actually tell you what coin op I spent the most money on, um, because I didn't play them often enough. I suppose if I'm going to be, if I'm thinking about like MAME, doing it from that aspect, it's going to be probably like, I don't know, Berserk or Robotron. Yeah, yeah, I can't really answer that one because, like I said, I wasn't around arcades that much, so I couldn't honestly tell you what that was. Tower Bridge. Number three, did you play fruit machines much, and have you played any fruit machine emulators? Interesting, you should ask that. I did like fruit machines when I was about 17, 18. I was hanging I was hanging about with a group of guys, we'd just discovered alcohol. We used to play pool and we used to play the fruit machine. But the kind of happiest time playing the fruit machine was every Monday or a Friday, it depends. In the early days, it was a Friday. I used to I used to go to the rugby club with my dad. My dad was a founder member of the rugby club, and he used to we used to go down on a Friday and we'd play pool, and we'd always finish off with we would put like a pound each. It sounds not very much now, but that was when a fruit machine was like 10 pence each. We used to play. We used to put in like £2, and if we won, we would maybe put another couple of pounds in. I couldn't tell you what they were called. There was none that really kind of sprung to mind. They were just kind of random fruit machines. But fruit machine emulators, I was actually, I don't know what got me thinking about this. A couple of months ago, I actually asked in Discord if anybody was. I said, what is that? Yeah, Graham, if you know, how do you actually get games? I was asking in Discord, I was asking, has anybody got any emulators for fruit machines? I remember getting an emulator a long, long time ago. I'm talking about probably 10 years ago, and it was great playing some of these. Some people would say, what is the point of them? You're not winning any money. But I get that, but they're still fun to play. They were still fun to play. But yeah, is it MFME? I think I've heard of that. What I'd ideally want to do is be able to download like a torrent and it's just got the emulator in all the machines. If anybody knows how to do that, please let me know. But yeah, I did play fruit machines back in the day. P.S. I enjoy your car waffles also, but prefer the camera to show the road ahead. Nothing against your face, but listening to your thoughts whilst looking outside is better and more stimulating. I completely get that. PPS, I uploaded. Yeah, I'm gonna. This is a great video. I uploaded the top 200 Amiga game tunes a little earlier. It took months to compile and edit. Feel free to take a quick peek and let us know your favourites. I cannot point you towards it because this comment will be deleted. Yeah, in fact, wait a minute. He's called Tower Bridge 024, but he's actually. Let me have a look. Uh, I think, yeah, he's called Ray C, and I'm sure I've seen a Ray C comment on my videos in the past. But yeah, he's put together a video And I'm going to share it actually because it's worth sharing. Copy. Let's see if I can chat. Is it in there? Is it? Yeah, take a look at that. There we go. This guy has put together an 8 hour and 51 minute video, and it's the top, in his opinion, the top 200 Amiga game music. That's a great one just to be listening to. Oh God, I remember that geezer, Graham, Cops and Robbers. So play it on the MFME is the main emulator as far as I know. You get the ROMs and skins for the games. Certain for yeah, I'll need to have a look at that actually. If anyone's got any direct links to where you can get these things, so you don't have to kind of piss about, please let me know. But anyway, yeah, that's the last of the questions. An interesting thing that happened a couple of days ago when I was down in this place. I was going to a conference actually yesterday, so I drove down. I drove down on Wednesday down to this place, Sutton Coldfield, and I got changed. I got down about 5:30, got changed, and I went to the bar because there was like a dinner. They were putting on a dinner for people. Got to the bar, and I thought, I don't know anybody, so I was standing there having a pint, and then I spotted my director. I didn't even know he was going to be going down there, so I went up and spoke to him. And he's like, "What are you doing here?" And I went, "I could say the same about you. I didn't know you were coming." So anyway, we were having a kind of quite a good blather. I don't actually know the guy that well, but it was quite nice to actually spend a bit of time with him. He bought me a drink, which was pretty good. No doubt get claimed back in expenses, but anyway, cut a long story short, we ended up sitting together for the meal, and he was talking about his daughter has recently taken up jiu-jitsu, and he goes, "Oh, you do martial arts?" And I says, "Well, I did." I says, I've kind of packed it in." I says, "I gave up back in May." I says, "I got to brown belt." I says, "But just my work and real life kind of got a bit kind of too busy, so I had to kind of give it up." I says, "I did fully intend to go back." I says, "But right now, I kind of feel like I've forgotten everything, and I probably won't go back." But anyway, and I said to him, "So what is it you do yourself?" I says, "You're quite a fit looking guy." I says, "Have you got any kind of hobbies that you do?" And he says, "Oh yeah, I'm a runner." I went, "Oh, very good." I says, "What is it you kind of do?" And he went, "Oh, I only run like 3-4 miles, 3 times a week." And I says, I loved running. I says, I did a lot of running for about 10 years. In fact, more than that, about 16 years actually. I says, but just kind of health issues kind of took over. I don't know whether it's, what do you call it, asthma or whatever. I says, but I was getting like really bloated, and it made running difficult. And he says, "Oh, what were you kind of doing, like 10Ks?" And I says, "Well, I used to do part runs." I says, "But then I did a marathon. I did a marathon in 2010, and then that led on to me doing like longer distances, like ultra running." And he's like, "Ultra running? What's an ultra?" I says, "An ultra run is anything above 26 miles." And he went, "Wait a minute, so you would run more than 26 miles?" I went, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Anyway, fucking hell, I didn't even know that was a thing. He went, "So what's the furthest that you've ever ran?" And I went, 96 miles. And he looked at me and he went, "Did you say 96 miles?" I went, "Yeah." How can you run 96 miles? And I says, "Well, it's a race. It's an annual race called the West Highland Way race." I says, "You've got to put your name into the kind of into the hat, and you'll get into the kind of into the hat, and then you get drawn out." And he went, "So how long does it take you to do that? Is it like a week?" I went, "No, it's like 35 hours." 35 hours. You've ran 96 miles over the West Highland Way race in under 36 hours. I mean, yeah. I says, "Oh, the guy that won it did it in like 14 and a half hours." And he's like, I can't get my head around that somebody can do that. How is that even possible?" He says, "I'm a runner." He says, "I know how far I run. I run 4 miles. How can you run 20 times that distance?" He goes, "I just can't get over it." And so I started to tell him about it. I started to talk about the race and how you had a support team, and I was telling him about how I trained for my first marathon and all this kind of stuff. And then and this is when I kind of shot myself in the foot. He says, "Right, listen, Alan," he says, "I need you to come down to Swindon and do a presentation because that is something brilliant. What I'm going to do, if you're up to it," he says, "feel free to say no." He says, "I'm going to get you in front of all the sales guys, and I want you to talk about how you trained and how you got your head around and your body into the right shape to do a 96-mile run." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, that'd be fine, that'd be fine." So then later on, when I went back to my room, I'm like, fucking hell, I started to shit myself. I thought, I'm going to have to do a presentation. And then he was talking about it the following morning. And he went, "Oh, that'll be great." He says, because he says at the end of the day, he says, I said it's just about having the mindset. It's about wanting something. It's like having a target, having an aim, and then thinking, right, what do I need? What do I need to do to get that? You know, there's always, there's obviously some things that are impossible, but within reason, if you want something hard enough, you will make it happen. And I said, it's like anything in life. I says, if you decide you want to have your own, yeah, exactly, Graham. I'll see how it goes, mate. I'll say if you decide you want to, I don't know, open a shop and sell video games, you can do it. You have to save the money and whatever. And he says that's exactly it. He says you can use that mentality and that drive and all this kind of bollocks. You can use that and apply it to like business. You can apply it to any kind of part of your life. So yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to prepare a presentation type thing and deliver it. So hopefully me being able to talk bollocks to you guys will help me. I'm sure it will kind of stand me in good stead. So yeah, that's fun and games. Right, listen, how are we doing for time? I'm going to get going shortly. What I'm just going to do, just to kind of mess about for the last few, unless there's any particular questions you've got, I don't think there is. What I'm going to do, one, right, I'm just going to add my microphone. I will be back. Just give me 2 seconds. Right, you can hopefully hear me, but you can't see me. It's one of these things. It's one of these things. Oh, sorry, hang on. I'm going to jump back for a second. Yeah, you can probably tell I've got a bit far looking again. I don't know why, because I've still been kind of eating fairly healthy, but I feel like I don't think I have put on weight, but I feel a wee bit. Yeah, I've put a bit of weight on. But anyway, what I'm going to do, because I've been talking about running and all that kind of stuff, I've decided that I've prepared myself a 24-week running plan starting. I'm going to start it after Christmas. I thought there's no point in doing it now. The weather's shit. I'm going to start it in the new year, and it's 24 weeks from couch to marathon. That's the aim. It's going to depend on how my body holds up, obviously. See how my breathing is, whatever. But that's the plan. So you're going to see a super slim Beam Meister. That's the thing about when you've got a YouTube channel, and you look at videos of yourself from like 4 years ago, and you think, I'm a fat bastard, honestly. Right. Well, we can hope, Craig. We can only hope. Right. Anyway, I'm going to jump back to a Windows screen. I'm just going to have a quick. Now, this is probably going to go haywire, but let me see if I can get this working. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to see if I can get this little coin ops thing working. And just, you can still hear me? Yeah, you can still hear me. Right. I'm going to move that over there. And I'm going to move there. And then what I'm going to do I'm going to attempt. Oh, is it screen? Hang on a second. Hang on a cotton picking second. Display capture. Right. Can you hear me? Right. How's it? How's the sound? Is that too loud? Or let me know how the volume is. If my voice is too loud or the game's too loud. Keep me posted. Yeah, I did a short video of this the other day there. Yeah, let me know how the volume is, folks, please. I don't want. Hang on. Yeah, this is an 8 gig download. Bloody awesome. I saw a few comments. I think Jan Bond was saying that he finds this just too much, and Colin Jones was saying the same. It's got about, well, in fact, at the bottom, if you look at the bottom there, you'll see it's got 152 games. And what I love about this is it's like being in an arcade. You've got all the various games. Now, if I shut up for a second, now, if you listen very carefully, you'll hear the sound of Donkey Kong Jr., but you'll also hear the sound of Double Dragon on the right and Donkey Kong on the left. I'm going to be quiet for a second and hopefully you can see what I mean. Hopefully you can see what I mean. You can actually hear the sounds. But yeah, it's just, and I don't know if it's going to come across in this video, but the way they've got this just looks fantastic. Wait a minute, has this got the, hang on a second, a wee minute. Can't hear game sounds. Ah, right, hang on. Hang on, Dale. Hang on, mate. Yeah, you should be able to hear it now. Right. Give me a minute. I just want to. Oh, it's got sky glass on. Right, okay. Right, anyway, let's have a shot of. Let's have a go at Alien Syndrome. But yeah, it's such a nice presentation, and it's all wrapped up in a really cool, cool kind of front end. But the fact it's only 8 gig, I think it's great.
Round one.
How's the volume? Is it too loud? Not loud enough? So is anybody like myself going to stay up and waste part of his life watching the Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson boxing? I'll see if I can find it somewhere online. Personally, I think Mike Tyson. I think it's fixed. I think Mike Tyson will 100% lose. I need to go in here, don't I? volume is spot on. How you doing, Anybus? I hope you're well, mate. I was just, I know you're a wee bit late to the party. I was talking earlier on about I'm going to arrange, I'm going to suggest another arcade club probably in March. And we might actually try and sneak a second one, maybe November time next year. It'll probably be a lot of complete shite, Steve, I think, but yeah, we'll see. Whoa.
Hurry up.
Keep your bloody pants on, you cheeky bastard.
Caution. Caution.
15 seconds to go.
Caution. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Oh.
Hurry up. Caution. Caution. Caution.
Fucking hell, you got a time limit in this thing as well.
Caution. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Bollocks.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Ow.
0. Ignition. Oh! Oh!
Kaboom. Right, how we doing for time? Let's play one more. Yeah, actually, that's a good shout, Craig. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we can organise. We can organise a trip to Arcade Club, and then we could also organise a trip to the RMC Cave. Right, what game will I play, I wonder? Let's give Commando a go, why don't we? I used to be quite good at this game, and I don't know what it is, but they've got this game looking really, really lush. Just the colour and everything about it looks beautiful. Oh, bollocks. Arse. I am shite. Right, anyway, let's come out of that and we'll get back to, let's get back to web. There we go. Right, move me over there again. Right, anyway, folks, listen, I am going to call it a night. It's a Friday night. It's only 9 o'clock, so you've still got time to go and watch something on Netflix. So anyway, listen, I will probably be along on Sunday night. I haven't figured out what I'm going to be playing, but again, as always, I will put a link in Discord and the usual places. So listen, thank you very much for taking time out your Friday night to listen to this shite. Until next time, folks, as always, thank you very much for watching.